All the flowers are handmade, and I will tell you a little bit about these. This one right here is silk fabric, and I really love making the puff flower with the silk fabric. If you one of the if I think it's called the cotton puff flower. I do have a tutorial on how to make those types of flowers. I use that method where it's like a puff flower method. Um, Over here, you'll see that I used some of the fabric to put on top. I actually couldn't find any more of the fabric, so I must have used it all when I did the wreath. So I found bits and pieces of it, and so I used that bit and piece, and I just used a different base on the bottom, which is a gold satin. And these are both using the a la Liz technique. Over here is another puff flower, and I used this beautiful fabric. See that? So this right here, this right here is the main fabric I used in my entire wreath. Let's see over here. You can see it right here. Let's see. Over this way, this is another puff flower. No, it's not. It's made with a la Liz technique, and I've seared it with flame, so it looks very realistic. It's handmade. And in the center, I just recently got um, gold in this type of embellishment in my shop. What's it called? I call it a craft jewelry. That's what I call them, craft jewelry. The craft jewelry, I did get this one in gold now. I have silver and gold, and then I have another one that I'm calling vintage silver because it has like black in it, where this one looks almost rose gold. I didn't call it rose gold, I just called it gold, but I love the red. Look how pretty that looks. So I do have some red in there. And over peeking in the back here is another handmade flower. It is one I made quite a while ago, and it is made with satin. And usually that is fabric. I made it with a fabric satin. I usually cut the fabric like you would use like ribbon size, maybe 1.5 inches, and then I make that. Or make it 2 inches and fold it in half sometimes. I don't know what I did with that one. And this is actually the lace I showed you how to make. I used it and I made a flower with it using the a la Liz technique, which might be something I show you if everything goes well right now. Let's see. And over here is another rose. I have a very detailed folded rose tutorial. And when I made that tutorial, my goal was to teach you slightly different tricks than a lot, because there's a lot of rose tutorials out there, but mine has like just slightly different tricks, just tips, hoping that I can get somebody who's had so much trouble like I did when I first started making them would maybe be able to make them. um and there, I still need to clean it up. As you can see, there's still little lints and stuff around it. And over here underneath it, I have another flower I made, and this is just made with an organza. And the organza has like a goldish color tint to it. And I also used like this color is like there's gold, and then this has kind of gold in it, but like also brought in some doilies so that it will go with the doilies that are here, this doily here. And I used mostly the dark colored doilies, not the really white ones. You could see I made a flower out of a doily right there. And there's one. And if you're looking for doily flowers, I have an entire series on how to take apart doilies and experiment with them and make different flowers. There's a lot of people who might teach you how to layer them. While I teach you different techniques. I usually try to teach you my own way, things my own way, and just give you different ideas than what's common. And sometimes I'll teach a common thing, but with my little tiny twist, or teaching you in a different style, different tips on that. I still don't plan to make a lot of tutorials. If you do get another tutorial, it it will be using probably just a live, just like I have been doing. And right here, there's another one of those flowers, and I made this. Let me show you what I made it out of. I showed you this lace, right? I have this in my shop right now. It's beautiful. I showed you how to make um the ornaments with this beautiful. I posted my ornaments in one of the groups that I belong to. I have this one group I love. they actually make wreaths, and they mostly make, what's it called? Mesh wreaths. That's why I've been experimenting because those ladies are so talented. They're so talented. But it's run by Julie's Wreath Boutique, that she's the original designer, and I like to share stuff there because they like to get inspired about everything, and they're always supportive when I share with them all my things. And here is another puff flower, and this puff flower was made with the same fabric, which is this one here. And you can find this type of a fabric in, like Joann's, but it's hard to work with. It frays, it in which I don't mind a lot of frays because I think mine are tattered. And as you can see, it frays beautifully to give you that big, shabby, elegant look. And I like that. And I placed a beautiful cameo in here, and it has a little dangle at the bottom, which is hard to see, but it's there. Um, and I use different things to make it. Over here, I placed another rose. And this rose was made from a fabric. I think it's the same fabric as a puff flower I made over there. And I just have a little piece of it. And I just tear it just to make flowers with it. So a lot of times I'll buy small pieces of fabric that's beautiful and I make flowers with it. And here, this one right here is the same as this one and this one here, but it's red. And I showed you, I have the red one in my shop right now, and I got some more, and I think I have it in my shop anyway. I know I have blue. I think I have red in my shop too. Then there's another one, and I loved how it just came out. And then I mixed in a old vintage tea dyed doily right in here with another flower here. This one is made with, I think might be chiffon. It's not a chiffon. It's like that lining material I told you that I always buy. And this one right here, I made this one with this green ribbon. It's right here with this ribbon, and I made one rosette out of it. And then along here, you saw that beautiful gold. I couldn't decide what to do, and I experimented with several things, and I ended up choosing that beautiful gold. I have some of that in my shop right now. I was almost thinking I was going to wait till I made a gold angel, and I would put the gold angel on this wreath, but I didn't wait. I decided no. I ended up using the um the gold lace on that. And so I have just a little bit, about 9 yards in my shop, and I saved a yard or so for myself because I do plan to use it a bit more. And down here I made a tassel on this one. And I keep on saying I'm going to make them without tassels, but then I end up making tassels. I don't know. I just keep on doing that. And so here in the tassel, truth is there's a whole bunch. I'm going to grab the back of it, and I'm going to show you what's back here. I fill it with all kinds of different fabrics and scraps of laces that go, or pieces of lace, all kinds of things, and they go in the main part. And then when I keep on going, then in the front area, I put more of the colors I really want to be the star of my thing. But I do like the other colors peeking from the back, like if it moves or flows, you can still see those other colors. You see, this color seems like, oh wow, I didn't put it a lot inside here, but it is in my wreath. You can see it right there. See it? Same color. But it's just like little hints come from the back. And I do like that color. I did put one strip of that same gold fabric, that same gold lace. I put it way in the back because again, I wanted the highlight. I like the look of these. Remember I showed you these? I have these in my shop right now. I guess this color is slightly different than the ones I had in my shop. I had a couple of yards of a slightly different color, but the colors I have in the shop are very close to this. I had to really, really look closely to tell that they were different. So I didn't put them in with the others, and I said, I'll just craft with them. And so I put that as in the tassel, and look how beautiful that looks. And the other idea I had is I was thinking that I was going to actually place it like this. I was going to go through and like place it behind the flowers and then stagger it around in some places, but I changed my mind. I decided just leave it down. I'll probably do that again, but I think I want to do it with different selection of fabrics when I do that. I want to go closer to the, and then here, this is one I do not have in my shop. I just have a little bit of this in my stash and I'm using it for things like this. And it's the same kind of, I have some other colors in my shop, but this one, I just have a little and I said, I'm just going to use it for my project. So that's what I'm using it for. So you can see how when I layer things, sometimes I do something and I put it in the back. It seems like you can't see it, but you really do see it in the back. And then I placed this beautiful piece here, and this piece is one I have in my shop. I also placed some more on this side. You can see it, and this is a scrap of a vintage lace. And this, I got these recently and I ordered some and I'm really thinking I'm going to put this in my shop because I really like the way this looks. It's brand new. It's a very thin cotton lace, but it just looks so vintage. And you can see how pretty that looks in this piece. Just I mixed things and you can see the burgundy back there. You can see it peeking out on the side over here. And then these are coming out here. So I'm going to give you a full shot of the top. Yuck, yuck, yuck. You see that? So this is where I ended up. And this needs to go down. There you go. There you go. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to ask me questions. Most of the jewelry I have in the flowers and the centers and stuff, most of those I carry in my shop. So you can find some cameos in my shop. If I know I have some in my stash also. So if there's like you see this one and there's none in my shop, you can message me and I'll tell you if I have it, if I have one I can spare. Okay. Then the next thing before I go, that was that was my mess you saw there. One of the other things I wanted to show you were the different colors that just came in of that. I don't want you guys to see my mess. Okay, here it is. All right, so yeah, down below is where I have my storage, so ignore that. This one is beautiful. I'm trying to get it so you can see the color. Okay, so that is a purple. The same type of lace I showed you. This is a new one. I'm going to put it in the shop. I only have about, I don't know, probably, I have 10 yards, but I'll probably put 8 yards in the shop. And then I got, oh, here's the red. I was telling you I had red. So I got more red because I know I'm going to use a lot of red. You can see, I loved how it made those flowers. Let me see if you can see them. Like from here, you could see how all the flowers are right there and they just look so pretty. And I use my a la list technique to make them. And then the other color I got in was this green. And let me see, I'm looking at the color and the real, that's really close to the color it is. It's a little less green, but I think it's beautiful. I thought it was going to be a little more muted, but it's very bright green, great for Christmas ornaments. And I got, this is a beautiful color. Look at that pretty blue, a different blue. It's more like the Tiffany blue color. I only got about 9 yards of it. And then I did get more silver, so I'll have a lot of silver. I can put in a little bit more. Let's see, did I show you the fuchsia? I got a fuchsia. It's not quite red. It's a little bit more, more magenta pink. A little bit more magenta. And then I got one. This was supposed to be lavender, but they did send me lavender. They sent me, it's more black. It's more of a black. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to have to call them and say, I didn't order that color. But I'm sure I'll find something to do with it. It'll probably make some nice little flowers like that other one did. But yeah, it's kind of like a black gray. It was supposed to be lavender. They sent me the wrong color, so I do not have lavender. Sorry. So if there's no questions, let me see. I've been on for 20 minutes. I think, yep, I think that that's all I wanted to show you. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to work on next, but I hope you guys like my new wreath, and and it is different than some of the others I've made. And I hope somebody will like this for during the holiday season with the reds and the golds, which those are colors I love. I love the reds and the golds. After I looked at it, I said, "Oh, I like that," because I think it's colors I like. So, like I said, I'm not a pink girl. I'm more reds, golds, greens. I like browns too, I think. But that's it. Okay. Nice chatting with you guys. I will see you guys later and talk to you guys later. This is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I hope you enjoy my new wreath.